Okay, and we welcome you here to Domini Reserve for our Deakin University match of the round here that will be played out shortly between Park Orchards and Whitehorse Pioneers. Bit of Premier Division footy for you on this lovely Saturday morning. So we will have the coaches from each respective side come up and have a chat to us soon. My name's Christopher Cordis. I'll be doing the play-by-play today, joined by Kate Green, who will be on the boundary. Kate, how are we today?
Good, thank you. The ground's looking great and the weather is beautiful, much better than last week in the rain we had.
That's exactly right. Last couple of weeks have been a bit stiff with the rain, but blue skies out here at Domini Reserve. So just watching both teams warm up. How do you see this one going, Kate? Have you got a tip for us early doors?
I'm kind of like my tip said, I'm kind of leaning Park Orchards because they really, coming up from Division 1 and winning the flag last year, they've really started the season really well. They're a very strong team. I think to my knowledge, they've actually retained everyone from last season's premiership. So I think they're going to be one of the ones to look for. But today, I think they just might have the edge over Whitehorse. Not giving anything away from Whitehorse, because Whitehorse did play final. I think from memory, did play finals.
Yep, I believe lost in the first round by only, I think, a point to the Eastern Devils.
Yeah, so Whitehorse, definitely not a team to be underestimated or underrated.
That's exactly right. It's a few good points you bring up there, Kate. Obviously, I was talking to Dave Bowell, the senior head coach of Park Orchards ahead of the season, and he did say that they did manage to keep a lot of their list, which is obviously very talented and a very strong list, not only for Division 1 last year, but for the Premier Division this year. As they had, I believe, 4 Team of the Year players from Division 1 last season.
I think from memory, yep, they did. And it's actually a very important round this weekend as the EFNL has taken on and joined up with the Pat Cronin Foundation and has made this weekend 2nd to the 4th of May Pat Cronin Foundation round. So you will see all players today, both men's and women's, and juniors on tomorrow with the yellow armbands in memory of Pat Cronin, who passed away April 2016, and his family created the foundation to bring awareness for people to be wise, be kind, and I think they're doing a fantastic job. All the money that they raise goes to funding community awareness presentations, and they also travel to schools all over the state, and they're actually begun doing interstate school and community visits as well. So it's really fantastic what they've done. That's
terrific. Exactly right, Kate, as we will see the players wearing all the yellow armbands today out at Domini Reserve. Movement to end the coward punch, as you heard, Pat Cronin Foundation round, and just gearing up, both sides still warming up. As we
get Dave Bowell, we'll just get him all set up and we'll grab him on mic.
There you go, Dave.
Thank you.
First of all, welcome. Lovely day for footy, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely fantastic. The ground is dry, the sky is blue. What a great day for footy.
No, that's exactly right. Blue sky, not something that we've been able to say for the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely not. This could be the last of them, but right.
No,
Hi,
it's
Dave.
come out today.
I'm Kate, and
Hi, Kate.
this is Chris.
Nice
welcome to the media pre-game.
Thank you.
So
I'll let you go first. Chris. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so look, we just got a few quick questions for you, Dave. Obviously, believe we spoke pre-season. You said first season with Park Orchards. How have you found it so far?
Oh, look, I've known the girls obviously for a long time, always sort of been in the background as the assistant, so it was pretty easy to step into the head role. Obviously a lot more preparation for me, game day and leading into it, but absolutely having a ball, and I've got a great crew around me.
Yeah, excellent. Obviously, the Division 1 premiership last season, obviously into a new division this year. Obviously, with a big win, round one, not quite your week last week, unfortunately. But how have not only you adjusted to the new division, but also the players? How have you felt that you've been adjusting?
Oh, look, I think they've adjusted really well. They were so apprehensive pre-season about what this massive step up to Premier is going to be. But given a couple of practice games, it's like, oh, hold on, well, actually, we can compete. And then obviously our first two games, and they've got a belief that they should be at this level. Rather than sort of last year they're going, well, you know, Div 1 is our Div, you know, look, we've won it. We've sort of been there and thereabouts for a while, you know, we should stay here. I think now they actually believe, oh, hold on, we're actually, you know, we're competitive at this level.
Yeah, brilliant.
I see that one who actually it's your daughter Alana. She's on Player HQ. They've got her down at 99 games, which is a combination of both junior and senior. So is she aware today is her 100th game in her career, or were you aware of that?
No, I wasn't. So
Okay,
thanks for letting me know that. That's great.
So yeah, I actually was really impressed with you guys last year with your prelim win, your games going in, particularly against Donvale, which were kind of really, along with North Ringwood, were the benchmark. Have the girls? Did the girls take much of that confidence from those two teams into this division as well? Or is it basically, okay, well, we're just, as Chris said, kind of starting at the beginning and that with... I think what I'm saying is, how is their confidence?
Oh, look, as I sort of said, they were very apprehensive coming in. I think now they actually, they're confident that they can play at this level and that this is a level that we should be at.
Yeah.
Donvale was always a bit of a benchmark for us last year, and the fact that, you know, we got over them gave us confidence going into North Ringwood. But I don't think the girls, they're so unaware, as myself as a head coach, as to what these other teams are like. Besides obviously the Basin and Baronia, which we'd played in the past, we'd actually never beaten the Basin. So, you know, that first game up at this level, and we had a great win, it's like a real confidence boost for the girls to go, hey, we are where we should be. But, yeah, do we really, you know, absolutely we took a lot of confidence from winning the premiership, but we really didn't know how North Ringwood and Donvale compared to what this division were. So it's hard to say we've brought anything in.
Yeah. How have you settled into being the head coach this season?
Oh, look, I love it. I love it. I love, you know, stepping up and being the person that, you know, is making the decisions. As I said, I've got a great, you know, coaching team behind me. So, you know, we've just really gelled, and I actually love it. People say, oh, you know, how are you going there? Can't wait for a Saturday. Yeah. Can't wait for trainings. Can't wait for a Saturday.
Oh, that is so cool. Felicity mentioned that unfortunately this year you didn't have any of your under 18s coming up, but next year is going to be a big year for you guys with regards to your under 18s. That really bodes well for you guys as a club, and maybe potentially get you guys a second team so you have that continuing growth of depth. Is that a goal for the club?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a good try this year at getting it up, so we've got 32 on our list as it is. So a lot of girls are sitting on the bench again today, ready to play, but you know that depth is great. But exactly as you say, next year we're hopefully getting between 10 and 12 of those girls coming up. So we should really have the basis to make those two teams.
Yeah.
But even today, we've got, there's a second-year player. We've actually got a first-year player. She's out injured today, but never played football before. Come down, and she's straight into Premier. Yeah, so that's such a difference. You know, we've got the girls that have played, obviously, for 7 or 8 years, but still as a club, girls, you know, are more than welcome to come down, as we've shown. You know, Emily's come down first year, never played football before, bang, straight into Premier, and she's getting a game.
Yeah. I do note that there's quite a few of the Premier clubs that do have that development side, and the message from them is that having that development side has really helped them consolidate their football and consolidate their position in the Premier side. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where you guys go with your development side, and I really hope you get there, because more women playing football, the better it is. And I really love your style of football. It's not afraid. You're not intimidated. It's like, well, we want the ball, let's go for it. And I was really impressed, particularly with your game last year against Domval at Domval. I mean, you guys just blew us away. You really did, and how you played that game.
Thank you. We've worked a lot on it. We don't want to be a team that just goes down the line. We've really worked on our fundamentals and our skills, because we know that we have to, in this level at this league, you can't miss your target by a metre and then go and pick it up. The opposition, they smoke you and off they go. So we've got to step up. We will. And hopefully you'll see it today.
No, brilliant. Dave, thank you for joining us. We'll let you go. We saw the girls go into the change rooms a couple of minutes ago. So, again, thank you very much for joining us. Very well spoken, and best of luck for today.
No worries. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much, Kate.
All right, as you just heard from
you,
head
Dave.
coach of Park Orchards Football Club there, Dave Bowl, as we are just about 10 minutes out from the opening bounce, hopefully here at Domini Reserve. First year in the role. For Dave as a head coach. Obviously spent some time as an assistant, as he alluded to.
I'm just going to go and see where Paul Beavenon is, so I'll leave you.
Okay, thank you, Kate. She's going to go work on grabbing the head coach of the Whitehorse Pioneers senior women's team, Paul Beavenon. But yes, as we were saying before, Coach Dave Bowl spent a few years as an assistant coach with the Park Orchards football team. He's now stepped into the head coach role as the team earned promotion last season off Division 1 Premiership. So we're waiting for Kate to get back. We'll run through Park Orchards this season so far. The Sharks got off to a flyer in round 1, defeated the Basin 0-7-7 to 15-11, 101. So a whopping 94-point win there on that day. Actually left them with a percentage of upwards of 1,400. After round 1. And then round 2, first home game in Premier Division, unfortunately fell short to South Belgrave. That scoreline read 4-6-30. Park Orchards defeated by South Belgrave 9-6-60, where Park Orchards actually led at half-time but failed to kick a goal after that. So maybe just a bit of a reality check for the Sharks, as a few of their players multiple times in best in those 2 games, including Lana Panzer. And obviously singles for Beston from Bertoldi, Bowl, Hutchinson, Ruckavina, Ray, Campbell, Taylor, Livingston and Hohen. Jade Hutchinson there with 2 times in best, as well as I think Kate's slowly working on getting Coach Paul Beavenon over. But it's a very strong Park Orchard side, like we said, retained a lot of their key pieces and a lot of their core, which is very impressive, because not only did they have a brilliant list for Division 1 last season, they now have a brilliant list this season. As we'll see today, some of the Division 1 Team of the Year players in Georgia Livingston, Jade Hutchinson and Remy Archer will be pulling on the Sharks uniform today, as we do have Coach Paul Beavenon, who we won't want to keep for too long. The Whitehorse Pioneers enter today splitting their first 2 games, I believe, as we have head coach Paul Beavenon. Paul, chuck those on for me, please. Thank you. Welcome to EFNL pre-game. How are you?
Not too bad. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris. This is Kate here. Kate will be on the boundary, so you'll probably see a bit more of her. We don't want to keep for too long, so just a quick couple questions for you. First of all, how have you seen this season so far?
A little bit up and down. Probably didn't start the best way that we wanted to against Baronia, but they're a good side, Baronia. They've recruited well, and they're well coached as well by Sean. So, and then we got a few numbers back for round 2 and put 4 quarters of footy together last week, so which was pleasing. Yeah,
excellent. And I just want to ask, obviously you have such an impressive resume in terms of coaching in the men's competitions. How is that translated into the women's competition as well?
I think you can translate a lot of it into women's footy. You just have to probably downscale it a little bit. in terms of how you're doing it. Of the boys execute at a higher rate, higher skill level, so you just got to sort of dumb it down a little bit, but you can still use the same principles for women's footy, but obviously try and make it less contested with women's, it's higher contested with women's footy, so the idea is if you can make it a little bit less contested, it gets the ball moving a bit better. But yeah, you can certainly translate it across.
Last season you did really well, getting to finals, but sadly not the chocolates and going out.
Yeah, we won't go there. No.
I wasn't. You've been able to retain a lot of the players, but from last season, but you've also picked up a couple of players, including your daughter, 16,
yes,
playing senior football and backing up tomorrow for juniors.
Yeah, that's
pretty impressive. How have you seen the gelling of the team coming off that's last year, which we won't talk about, into this year? Where are the girls' mindsets and where's your mindset with that?
I think, as I said to the girls last year and started pre-season, it was having the belief that they're good enough to be up the top end of this competition. Like it's a strong competition, it's quite even, and just getting them to believe that they're actually good enough, and that was part of the role into finals last year, is that, trust their ability, trust what we're putting in front of them, that they can actually execute it. And we lost a couple key players from last year, so Mark Kershaw and Mandy and a couple others, a few retires, a couple overseas, but we've managed to pick up some girls as well. Lucky to have Amanda Ling still on our list as well from North Melbourne, ex-Bulldogs. So it's great having the VFL girls, but it also hurts us back in if they're playing. But yeah, and then obviously my daughter's playing, so it's she's 16 now, so she's been training with the girls for 2 years, so it's a good opportunity to get some senior footy into her. She'll be playing senior footy in not too distant future, so it's good to actually get some games into her and understand the difference of underage footy compared to senior footy.
It's also having her come up, play senior footy, then go back to playing with her juniors team. That also bodes well for your women, your under 16, under 18 girls coming up, because it means that, we know we can do this, we have this pathway. Is the club in a point where that perhaps next year you're looking at maybe having a second team in the comp, or are you still building with the women, with the girls' side of things?
Ideally, that's the goal, is to have a second side. And then, so Chris, my assistant, we both coached under 16 girls as well. So what we've been trying to create is that pathway program from junior footy up to senior footy, which they haven't really had before. And there's a good crop of girls coming through that we've got. They've won the last 2 premierships in juniors. So, it's trying to keep those numbers through there and keep them going as well. So, but I think, in the next couple of years, there'll be some good girls coming through.
So you'll be definitely a club to look out for, both this year and in future years.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. We want to be at the top end of this competition. To be in Premier Division footy for a women's side I think it's a privilege as well. And the club's worked hard to get their side there. Obviously, they won the flag the year before I came, so they went up, or 2 years before I came. And they got close in getting the finals. I think they missed out by percentage on the previous year, so that was the first goal, let's play finals footy and get a taste of that, and make it a club that people want to come to as well. So absolutely.
I see you've got your Pat Cronin Foundation yellow band on. It's really great that we've got women's teams as part of this, the Pat Cronin Foundation, and forgive me, I've just gone blank on my thing. How do you see your women's football progress over the last couple of years that you've been involved in it?
I think it's grown enormously in the last couple of years, and if you look at the junior numbers, there's so many junior girls playing footy, and obviously playing a combination of basketball and footy, you can sort of combine those two because the skills are quite similar as well.
Yeah.
But I think the growth of women's footy is huge. Like Park Orchards, they've got 30-odd girls in the list. We had 28, 29 last year. Obviously, that's dropped down a little bit. You know, had the fortunate to spend a bit of time with Charlie Rowbottom and a couple Gold Coast girls during COVID, training with me and working with me because I was stuck in Melbourne. And you know, I spent a little bit of time in Tassie as well, working with the NAB program there. So to see those girls now coming through and playing at the higher level, you know, a lot of these girls are more than capable of pushing through if they've just got to put the work through.
Excellent, Paul. Well, thank you for joining us. We can see the teams lining up now, so we'll let you go. Again, thank you very much for joining us, and best of luck for today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. As we heard there from Whitehorse Pioneers head coach Paul Beavenon, the teams are lining up out here at Domini Reserve, and we are just about ready to get underway. We'll say goodbye to Kate Green for now, who will make her way to the boundary line. A long way indeed. Kate will be down there giving us the inside scoop from ground level as the ball is up and we are underway here in this Deakin University match of the round between Park Orchards and Whitehorse. Straight away there's a ball up following the initial one to get the game started, and we'll have another stoppage. So we'll have a ball up again, still inside the centre square. Park Orchards will win the tip, but still a bit of a scrappy footy. No one yet to really win the ball and bring it out. So the Rucks will do their work again, cancel each other out. It was brought out by Carroll, sent on the right boot now, looking forward. So Whitehorse are going to take some territory early on, as Park Orchards have a chance to repel now. Outnumbered in the contest 2v1. Around the footy was Laffy for Whitehorse. It's going to go their way, but it's off the hands of Archer now for Park Orchards. A stellar performer for the Sharks over time, as it's now in the hands of Batoldi. Looking to shake one, gets it out to Riccovino, who's in the best one time this season. But now Whitehorse will look to repel through Carroll, who's got the boot to ball again, and under the footy is Holman. Managed to bring it to ground, did well, made a contest of it. And it's in the hands of Riccovino, who's dropped the ball and will be pinned for holding the ball. So, free kick has been awarded to Gemma Laffy, who will line up now on a very slight angle. Player on the mark's probably about 30 metres out. So a chance for Whitehorse to hit the scoreboard first. So the kick is on its way. It's going to drop short in the goal square. Bit of a pack forming underneath it around his Panzer. No one really able to bring the ball out yet. It's dropped to the ground again. It was off the hands of Panzer as Park Orchards look to bring it out of the far sides, pushing the back there. Umpire agrees. So the Sharks get a chance to take a breath here. Find a bit of relief as they look through the middle and find the hands of Chloe Livingston, who's in the ruck for today. She's been doing well so far already. She'll go forward once more into the middle of the field. It's a well-taken mark. Had grass in front but decided not to play on. It's Georgia Livingston, one of those 2024 Division 1 Team of the Year players, as she finds a target. So some clean use of the footy here as it's ended up in the hands of Ella Krupi, who goes forward looking for a lead up. It's over the back. Whitehorse looking to repel. It would be Russo who's going to be doing the cleaning up and just tries to take territory with a kick down this broadcast side wing, and it's 2v1 in the favour of the Sharks, but it's a Whitehorse player that will bring it down. Slight push, nothing doing. Panzers around the footy. It was off hands, now in the hands of Campbell, who shakes one, gets it on the right boot, but he's just got the wrong side of the ball and it will be out of bounds on the full. So neither side able to score just yet. So just over 2.5 minutes into this contest.
Boundary.
Go boundary side to Kate Green.
There is a light wind heading from the scoreboard side down towards the opposite end, but just very, very light.
So going to the right of screen, I believe that is, as the kick will go down the near side wing, and it was a well-taken mark by Alexandra Carroll, who's been good so far for the Pioneers. He's found the footy quite a bit. I believe that's her third or fourth touches. There's a pack forming under this one. Out the back was Harris for the Pioneers as they're going again through Macris, who couldn't quite pick the ball up. There's Harris again getting hands to it and wrapped up in a tackle, true centre wing. So we'll have another ball up here. As the Rucks will go at it, it's off hands. Park Orchards looking to bring it out through Panzer, who's been pinned for holding the ball, was deemed to have taken on the player and couldn't get rid. So Whitehorse with a chance to take a bit of territory here. As the kick's just going to come to this near side wing. It's off hands. Around the footy was Macris, who got it forward. Takes good territory with the kick. And a brilliant contested mark there from the Whitehorse player in Gemma Laffey, who's beyond range here as a player on the marks just on the 50-metre arc. She would look deep. Holman's under the ball in the pack. Couldn't quite take it. The Pioneers are looking for it. It comes out through Dakota Holman. He's done brilliantly so far today. As the ball bounce over, it's a favourable bounce, but it only goes as far as the Pioneers as they look to repel now. Throwing it on the boot was Phoebe Joy, who looks forward and standing under it and taking the intercept mark was Jade Hutchinson, another one of those Team of the Year players from last season for the Sharks, who looks to go on the broadcast side wing. Outnumbered under the footy was Matilda Ray. Scrap, that was Claire Bone who was under the footy, and we're going to have a ball up just in front of us here, true centre wing. As we are just about 5 minutes into this matchup, as the Rucks will go at it again. Bursting through was Panzer, who's been brilliant so far in the first 5 minutes of this matchup as it comes off the hands of Benson. And the umpire will call for the ball, so we do have a ball up.
Boundary.
So we go boundary side to Kate Graham.
It's good to see both teams utilising both sides of the field rather than favouring just one wing over the other, and also using the centre corridor.
That's exactly right. As we go long now for the Pioneers, looking for a don't argue and a bit of a spin was Georgia Fisher, but bit off more than she could chew. So in the centre square, it will be the Sharks' ball again. So they have numbers in front of the footy. Plenty of players calling for it. There's a lead out to this broadcast side, but she'll look to go the other way. Was Rukavina. Finds a target. So Park Orchard's very clean by foot so far today. So they've got the conditions to do so, as this kick will go out the back. It's Alana Bowl around the footy in her 100th game. Will look to get it onto the right boot instead. Opts for a handball. It's in the hands of Georgia Livingston, who brought it out around the footy is Coley for the Pioneers, but a clearing kick will only find Jade Hutchinson for Park Orchards as they look to go backwards to go forward. We'll need a chain off hands. It was a good step inside from Campbell, and now they'll look to go forward again. The Sharks get an entry inside 50, might bounce out the back. It's a 1v1 contest there. They'll need to be clean. Go backwards to go forward with the Sharks. Here's Maddie Edwards, who's wrapped up in a great tackle there from the Pioneers defence. So they'll ball up. 40 metres out from the Park Orchards uprights. Both teams still yet to score as we look to be brought out by Orna Higgins. Couldn't quite do so. So Park Orchards chaining the handballs together again as Edwards will go forward. Wrapped up in a tackle. Ball spilled loose. Play on is a call that will bounce out to Jade Hutchinson, who looks for a handball over the top. Great pressure from the Pioneers defence. Not giving an inch so far. As we'll have another ball up. 25 out from the Sharks goals. The Rucks will do their work. Tap down favoured the Pioneers, and they'll look to clear their lines, but it's 3v1 in favour of the Sharks, and it was a 1 for the Sharks, and Gemma Laffey, who did absolutely excellently to bring the ball out, and now they'll look to go forward as Hone's got a 1v1 matchup, looking to get the right side of her opponent in Bonnet. Owen around the footy, still has the ball wrapped up, came out of the tackle. And the ball is just dropped there. Still no whistle, so play will resume. Park Orchards looking to bring it out. Chip kick down the wing here as in pursuit is Georgia Livingston. He's got a bit of space, but will need to pick up cleanly. Ball didn't quite sit up for her. Wrapped up by Dodds. And we'll have a ball up. So both defences bringing the pressure early on.
Boundary.
Let's go boundary side to Kate Graham.
So far, in clearances and tackles, both teams are relatively even.
So nothing yet to separate these two sides. Certainly not on the scoreboard as they're both yet to score. As hit while she kicked it was Maddie Edwards as they'll now look to bring it out with the Sharks, and it's in the hands of Hutchinson, who looks forward, has a player out the back. It's going to drop to the ground. Hartnett's around it, but they're going to look to repel now the Pioneers through Joy, and will usher the ball over the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in just inside the boundary line here at Domini Reserve. Scores still tied. Neither team yet to impact the scoreboard at all. As looking to bring it out is Joy, who just hits it forward. Clearing kick from Whitehorse now might get out the back of the pack, and it will. In pursuit is Carroll, but it'll be picked up and now dropped in the tackle. Still no clear winner of the footy as his body's dropping around the footy. And it would be Just cleared a bit of a hoofing ball to the far side now. 3v2 in favour of the Sharks. Footy wouldn't quite sit up. Around the footy is Fisher now. Handball out was clean. It was well done, and it was in the hands of Edwards, who was deemed to have thrown the ball, so couldn't quite take it cleanly. And that'll be Stephanie Castle who has a footy. So in the centre square has options forward. Park Orchard setting up the defence well, though. They're known for their defence, especially last season in Division 1. As a good mark taken there by Imogen Harris, who assesses her options forward of the footy. We'll look to go inside forward 50. It's a good entry. Sharks had numbers around the pack. We'll look to bring it out now. They just clear their lines with a massive bomb through the middle. Will drop out the back of the pack. Around it is Joy, but it will fall into the hands of Claire Bone, who was taken in a tackle, lost the footy. Joy will go backwards now in the hopes of going forwards, but has put her team out in a bit of pressure. It was Higgins who had the footy, but now it's dropped out of the pack. Still a loose ball to be won. Bit scrappy here at Domini Reserve as it comes out to the broadcast side. And it's an awkward bounce. It will be read better by Edwards, who's had a lot of the footy so far, and they'll look to bring it out through Livingston, who's also been a massive contributor for the Sharks, who looks inside forward 50. It's off the hands of Hartnett, couldn't quite get out the back of the pack, who has it now, and is taken in a tackle. So we're just past halfway mark in this first quarter of the Deakin University match of the round, as it was off the hands of Livingston, who couldn't take it. It's been dropped out of the tackle, and it'll be deemed a throw. So Park Orchards will have a free kick and a chance of a shot on target from Ellie Hartnett here. He will line up on a slight angle. Will take a big kick as a player on the marks 45 metres out. Will be kicking from about 50 as kick looks like it's got its distance, and he's straight through the big stick. So we have our first of the day here. So it goes to Ellie Hartnett. First goal of the day. Park Orchards 1-6, plays Whitehorse yet to score, and the Sharks finally with a bit of reward for their territory dominance, as they were able to rebound 50 constantly throughout that first half of that
boundary
opening term. As we go boundary side to Kate Green.
It's great to see Ellie Hartnett continuing with her massive kicks. She was known last season for having massive kicks that did a lot of meterage, so it's great to see that.
That's exactly right, Kate. It was some effort there from about 45 out, as now Park Orchards have won the clearance straight away, looking to get another on the board. And they'll have a chance to do so. It was off hands, now in the hands of Alana Bowl, who in her 100th game will look for a major to suit, but will only kick it behind as it's pulled to the far side. So Park Orchards again opening up a 2-kick lead now, as they have 7 points on the board to Whitehorse's 0.
Defensive-wise, both teams are evenly matched so far.
It's been a good amount of pressure from both defences. Park Orchards often having to do it with less numbers. Whitehorse just opting to get bodies behind the footy. That, of course, is a result of Park Orchards' pressure and their rebound 50 ability, as they're going to do so again through Isabel Pollock as the footies hit the deck. They're going to look to bring it out now, the Pioneers by feet. And it's only going to go as far as the Sharks player, as a kick inside hit. When kicked was Penny Bauman, who's got the footy forward, and Whitehorse will look to come out through hands. It was a brilliant rundown tackle from Hartnett, and holding the ball is the call. So Hartnett not giving up. Whitehorse player appealing for in the back, but the umpire does not agree, as it's slightly greater than a 45-degree angle here Ellie Hartnett will line up on. And as you saw, she's definitely got the distance here. So kicking from about 30 metres out this time. It's on the right boot. Looked to have started nicely, but maybe the wind just took it a tad to the right. So it's hooked to the near side. Park Orchards with their second minor score of the day. Scoreboard reads 8-0. As Whitehorse struggling for territory so far here. As it will be brought out through Joy, who plays on from the kick in. Gets good territory with the kick, which is off the hands of 37 in Ava Campbell, and now Park Orchards will look to use the corridor as they centre the ball. Plenty of bodies around the footy, a bit of time too. It's off the hands of Amelia Reese. Good chain of handballs here from the Sharks, but they cough it up. Still footy to be won, and it's in the hands of McCall, who looks goal bound and kicks another point. So they were 1-1 on the scoreboard, now reads 1-3-9 to Park Orchards.
Park Orchards intensity in their offense is impressive at this point in time. Whitehorse just seems to have slightly dropped off in their defence.
As Joy brought it out and stepped inside quite cleanly. Footy might reach the back of the pack, but no, it was a well-taken contested mark from Fisher. As she'll look to repel and go. Find a teammate in 14 in Gemma Laffey, who played on, ran into a bit of trouble, ran herself out of it again. 1v1 contest, Hollins around the footy, did well to bring it to ground. Spoiled and now taps to her advantage, taps it again. The ball just won't quite sit up for her as she quite professionally just chauffeurs it over the sideline. And we'll have a throw in here. So the chance for Whitehorse to hit the scoreboard for the first time today is Park Orchard's ruck will win out. It was cleared by Campbell, and now a 1v1 contest on the broadcast side wing. Who's going to win it? It's in the hands of McAuliffe. Mayor McAuliffe, that is, who did brilliantly and got a kick-off. Was looking for bowl, couldn't quite get it there. Whitehorse will clear their lines for now, but innocent mark taken by the Sharks, who looked to go quick. Handball was a bit of a miscue, but Ava Campbell still has the footy. Handballs it forward in the hands of Georgia Livingston. Very experienced and very good contributor here for the Sharks as they look to go forward once more. And boot to ball, so play will continue, and Mayor McAuliffe's in a bit of space. He was terrific pressure from the Pioneers defender with the second effort. And the umpires will call for the ball now. So tight contest so far, but Park Orchard's dominating in territory. And they've been better for it on the scoreboard as well. As the Pioneers will win the clearing kick, and in a bit of space now finds herself. I believe that's Gemma Laffey, who looks forward on the left boot. Holland will have a bit of work to do again. So it's off the hands of Bonnet. Holland around the footy, picks it up, ducked ahead, tucked through the tackle. It was terrific work there by Dakota Holland, who gets a clearing kick just enough on it to get it to Pollock, who now loses out. Footy's hit the ground, pushing the back will go to Pollock. So they've often gone quick here of the Sharks, so they'll look to slow it down a bit as Ricavina's kick goes to the far side. It was looking for the hands of Sienna Bennett, who it's a bit of a contest there now. The Sharks able to get body behind the footy, and one of them is Bertoldi, who now has the ball. Looks, it was punched in response by Eliza O'Neill. And it will be wrapped up on the far side wing. There's nothing called by the umpire. The players almost caught it themselves. Play will continue. A bit of a check side kick, got the belly of the ball. It was off the hands of Castle. And now it's well tackled by Georgia Fisher.
Just some early players that are really making their mark on the game on both sides. Park Orchard's Livingston, Bone and Hartnett. For Whitehorse, Lafferty as in Emma and Carol, and also Joy.
So a few key contributors as the lead up is honoured and mark taken well. But I think that might be Ellie Hartnett again, so she already kicked one for the day. She's kicked a minor score as well. This one will be a lot more routine. Kicking from about 25 out, little to no angle. As it kicks on its way and just didn't quite get the drop right. It's another minor score. So Park Orchard's hit the double digits. It's 1-4-10, plays Whitehorse yet to score. So just under 3 minutes to go in this opening term. So the Pioneers have managed to get it forward, but the Sharks just doing a bit better job of getting numbers back and winning out in the contest as Joy will look to bring it out. Gives a handball off to her teammate, to Russo. Russo back to Joy. Joy back to Russo. Bit of kick to kick here, or handball to handball, I should say. As there's a 2v1 contest favouring the Pioneers. It was brought to ground. Castle's got a terrific wrap-up tackle by Pollock. And the Sharks have just been better at bringing the pressure so far. As just outside 50 with the footy in her hands is Pollock, throws it on the left foot. Kick just straight a bit wide of the lead up. It was off the hands of Bowl, who couldn't quite take it cleanly. Now going to drop just short of Macris, who was waiting there. And will now look to use the wing as it goes wide. Around the footy is Campbell, who's been called quite a bit here in this first quarter. As looking to bring it out now by foot is Carroll. Kick only goes as far as Panzer, who just sends it back inside forward 50 and taking a mark just on the arc is number 23 in Jasmine Taylor, who looks forward. Hartnett dropped the mark. Will now look for a handball over the top. It's a chance here for Amy Walsh. Just couldn't quite take it cleanly. Couldn't quite get boot to ball as well as she would like, and has hit the post. So another minor score for Park Orchards as that brings up their 5th behind.
Boundary.
You go bound, you start to Kate Green.
Just with Whitehorse, those couple of opportunities that they've had, what's let them down is they've only had one target in the goal area for them to get the ball to. So they really need to work on dropping somebody else back as well, not just leaving it to one target.
It's a great pick-up, Caders. I believe they just sent one player forward as a spare, but Park Orchards have adjusted now as they look to the far side wing, do the Pioneers. Footies come to ground, 2v2 contest around it, bodies dropping. And we'll have another ball up as we're into the final minute of the first quarter. As we'll have another ball up, true centre wing on this far side here. As Carroll will throw it on the boot around the corner. Park Orchards have the footing. We'll look to repel. There's brilliant work from that player there. I believe it was Bertoldi. The footy's going to drop out the back of the pack. Tapped brilliantly to Hartnett, who couldn't quite take it with the left hand. Footy still to be won here as Pioneers defenders drop around it. It's a brilliant wrap tackle there. So
great defence by Whitehorse's back.
That's exactly right. As ticking on to 10 seconds left in this quarter. Whitehorse need to lock it down and clear their lines. So another stoppage will keep the clock running. And no one really able to take it cleanly. So that's the end of the first quarter. Scoreboard reads Park Orchards 1-5-11. Plays Whitehorse yet to score. Single goal kicker for this match, Ellie Hartnett, with the one who also had two chances. Other chances, I should say, but only managed behinds. As a few key contributors so far, Park Orchards, Georgia Livingston's been big, so too has Mia McAuliffe, Dakota Hohen, Ellie Harden and Ava Campbell on the other side of the footy for the Whitehorse Pioneers. Phoebe Joy's been big, so too has Georgia Fisher and Zoe Macris. As we go around the grounds in Premier Division, South Croydon lead the Eastern Devils 7-1. We don't have a score yet for the Basin as they host South Belgrave at Batteram Reserve. Vermont 2-3-15, trail Baronia 3-2-20 by 5-point margin. Obviously Park Orchards with the 11-point deficit over the Whitehorse Pioneers here at Dominic Reserve in our Deakin University match of the round. We'll go to a short break and we will be back to resume action in the second term. So welcome back to our Deakin University match of the round out here at Domini Reserve. It's Park Orchards, a home side, with an 11-point lead over Whitehorse at the moment. Scoreboard reads 1-5-11 to Whitehorse, yet to score. in, of course, what is Pat Cronin Foundation round across the EFNL for this whole weekend across our seniors, reserves and juniors competitions as well. Honouring the life of Pat Cronin, raising awareness to end the coward punch and to be wise. So going to go around the grounds with some scores in Premier Division for the women's competition. South Croydon 13 plays 1 over the Eastern Devils. That's a 12-point lead out there at Cheong Park. We still don't have a score for the Basin versus South Belgrave. Out at Vermont Recreation Reserve, it's Vermont 2-5-17 plays Baronia 3-2-20. So the Eagles with a 3-point lead there. As crossing over to Deakin University Division 1, we don't yet have a score for Balwyn versus East Ringwood, which will be quite an interesting match because we don't have scores at all for Division 1 as I look at it now, as Donvale takes on Donvale takes on Knox and North Ringwood takes on Surrey Park. Crossing over into Division 2, we have earlier today, 8:50 a.m. start, the Waverley Blues 2-5-17 fell short to Montrose 5-7-37, so a 20-point win away from home for the Demons, as the Waverley Blues perhaps struggling for some form as they were very highly rated at the start of this season. But one side that is new to the division is not struggling for form at all is Mooroolbark, who are away at Berwick and currently lead Berwick by 43 points. Berwick yet to score. Mooroolbark 7-1-43. Very impressive over there. Blackburn 4-4-28 are hosting Beaconsfield 2-12. There's a 16-point lead there for the Burners as Kilsyth have the bye. Going into Division 3, we have a full-time result. Another early start at Cheong Park. South Croydon 7-6-48. Got the better of North Ringwood 2-3-15. A bounce-back win
Boundary.
there for South Croydon. We're going to go boundary side to Kate Green.
Just have Paul Beavenon here. Paul, I'm really impressed with what your girls tackling. 26 tackles in that, I counted up. Am I right?
Yeah, correct. So that was just applying the pressure. That's one thing we sort of looked at the start of the day is just keep applying that pressure. Obviously, with lack of a bench today, we just need to keep slowing the game up as much as we can.
And the game plan for getting that goal and getting it down into the goal square and actually putting yourselves on the scoreboard, what's the plan for that?
We think we're getting plenty of looks forward. It's just trying to get that conversion, and I think our forwards just need to hold the footy in a little bit better and just need to set up a little bit better behind the ball.
Thanks very much, Paul. All the best.
No worries, thank you.
Thanks for that, Kate Green on the boundaries. The second term is underway here. We have another ball up, so I'll hopefully be able to finish these around the ground scores as in Division 3 to continue. Coldstream 15 play Ferntree Gully 18. A few more games in that division that we don't have scores from. So we'll have another ball up here in the centre square, which gives me a chance to cross into Division 4. It's full time at the Basin against Baronia, but we don't have a score for that just yet. So we don't have scores for Division 4 at all.
Boundary.
As you go boundary side to Kate Green, who I believe has Park Orchards head coach Dave Bowl.
Just with Dave. Dave, that was a very positive start to... Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Dave. I took you for someone else. Dave, a positive start to the first quarter, but it's only the first quarter. What's the message for the girls moving forward for this quarter and the rest of the game?
I actually thought we were a little bit fumbly. So I want cleaner ball. And I want to move in our patterns. So let's go out wide, let's run, let's take the game on, let's bounce, let's have a go. It's a beautiful day for football. Just need to straighten up in the forward line and we'll be right.
I noticed that your team is one of the few teams that are not afraid to use all of the footy field and not just sticking to either one wing or the other.
That's exactly it. That's what our game style is. We like to move the ball wide, switch, rather than just keep going up and down the same line. So you picked it up well.
Thanks very much. All the best, Dave.
No worries. Thank you.
You heard there from Dave Boyle. First season as head coach of the Park Orchards senior women's side, and the Sharks are doing well with an 11-point lead here. As Whitehorse have definitely seemed to have thrown a spare, actually forward of the footy. But as we are continuing play here, will be Ellie Hartnett with ball in hand, looking for a set shot, 45-degree angle. Kick from about 20 out, already has one for the day, and the kick started true again, but drifted out wide. So
There's just a bit of a wind that's actually kind of coming from behind the goal but going across it. So I think that may be affecting goal kicking at the moment. And also just a quick update for you. Player Gleed for Whitehorse, she is number 21.
Thank you for that, Kate. So slight wind going across the width of the pitch. It might be a reason for this inaccuracy from the Sharks. We've got 1-6-12 on the board. So 12 points from 7 scoring shots obviously isn't ideal for a team that's actually been quite accurate so far this season. Round 1, they kicked 15-11. Round 2, they kicked 4 goals, 6. So look to straighten up that goal kicking. I'm sure that hope for is we're going to have another ball up inside their forward 50. So Park Orchard's all over the territory game at the moment.
If not straighten up, just take into account that wind.
That's exactly right. So straighten up or adjust as Whitehorse will look to bring it out. 26 tackles in the first quarter is an outstanding number, but understandably so, as they've just been under the cosh the whole time here. Is brilliant pressure there from Eliza O'Neill. As Park Orchard's players wrapped up in the tackle, and we'll have another ball up.
But as Paul Beavenon alluded to the girls, that tackle pressure is making Park Orchards make errors which are unusual for the Park Orchards. So that pressure is taking effect on the game.
It's a very good point, Kate, also as Paul. But gee, what a don't argue in there, is spinning and getting the ball in the right boot to Ellie Hartnett and playing on. Kicking her second of the day is Ellie Hartnett. I had to stop my sentence there because I believe it was Jasmine Taylor who landed a don't argue that I could hear from up here in the grandstand.
You are correct.
Absolutely outstanding work. Got on the right boot to Ellie Hartnett. Took a mark top of the goal square. Thought, well, maybe taking my time isn't getting me the best result, so I just wheel around and kick it on the right, and has done just that. So the Sharks hit the scoreboard again. We've now got an 18-point lead. Scoreboard reads Park Orchards 2-6-18. Whitehorse still yet to score. An understaffed Whitehorse side here who, as you heard, have lost some players to a bit of turnover, have lost some players to the VFL. Also, Amanda Ling, a massive out. Who's on the North Melbourne list. Jamie Pipercos as well.
It does make a massive difference to game day, not knowing the availability of these players.
It doesn't help when you're missing players at all, especially when you're missing experienced players that are VFLW listed. As there's been a few here for Park Orchards that have been really having an impact on the game, like Georgia Livingston and Maddie Edwards and Ava Campbell, who are all on VFLW lists themselves. As Whitehorse look to get the ball forward, fishes around it, landing a tackle. And it was Alana Pans who's been good so far today, just happy to take that tackle, and we'll have a ball up.
Fish has been really great for Whitehorse, as has Laffy, Gemma. She's just been that very quiet workhorse in there, getting in, getting out.
They're going to need a bit more help, those two. Whitehorse are going to make an impact on this game as we're past the 5-minute mark in this second term in our Deakin University women's match of the round.
It's good to see Whitehorse has got a few more back in the in the goal square, rather than just having the one that they had in first quarter.
That's exactly right. It's that tackle pressure that will help keep the ball here and prolong their chances of getting a score on the board. As hit while she kicked it was Gemma Laffey, who now gets it to a 2v2, but just too good back there. The Sharks defenders as they'll look for a short kick and find the waiting hands of Jade Hutchinson, who will look for Jasmine Taylor, taking the mark over her own teammate there was Georgia Livingston. You don't see that every day, but if you've got eyes for the footy, you go get the footy, and she's done just that. So it was terrific work from Livingston. Gets on the trusty left foot, looking for a target, nearly taking the contested mark with the Sharks, but coming out here as she kicked it was Jade Hutchinson. And now the Pioneers look to repel in the form of Harris. It was off the hands of Matilda Ray. Looking to bring it out was Panzer. Livingston again with the footy just inside the boundary line. We're looking to shake the tackle and was then forced over the boundary line. The call was play on. Didn't have a boundary umpire down there. So Panzer will look to bring it out off the hands to Livingston, who got hit while she handballed. Panzer again. Now they're out the Sharks as they can keep going. Look to take territory with the kick, but it's ill-advised and only as far as the waiting hands for Whitehorse. So bit of a ball don't lie moment there as footy definitely crossed the boundary line, but play will resume. It's another intercept mark. So a high turnover game so far as Panzer sends it forward. Another intercept possession there as the intercept mark was taken by Morgan Benson. So Benson will look to use the corridor. It's off the hands of Panzer. Couldn't quite take it cleanly. Was Hannah Smart. And now Macris is around the footy, lays a tackle, maybe a bit high. And
Benson's been excellent the last few minutes and getting those intercept marks.
so it'll be a Park Orchards free kick. You play it on. Didn't quite know what to do with it. Stepping inside and just gliding past her opponent was Ava Campbell, who gets the footy forward, looking for Hartner, who's around the footy. She'll be defended by Higgins, who has a bit of job to do, but does it terrifically and gets the footy into space. They only drop as far as Chloe Livingston, though, who looks to bring it out. Good tackle, but in the back, just a bit too overzealous to get to the footy there. So Whitehorse still yet to hit the scoreboard with a chance to repel here, though. So they get numbers forward of the ball. It's a bit of confusion, but now we have the footy in the hands of the right player as look out to the wing.
Number 18.
Number 18 there, taking the mark, I believe, is the Alexandra Carroll. He's been very good so far. 2 goals for the season, in the best on votes once already, and we can see why.
Intercepted by number 13, Marcus.
As I look to go forward now. The Whitehorse Pioneers have a bit of room on this far wing.
Sorry, number 37 for Park Orchards was Campbell that intercepted that. My bad.
That's all right. Kate doing a great job on the boundary as always, as Pioneers with a bit of territory here. With a chance to do something with it. Hit the scoreboard for the first time. It was well won in the ruck by Hannah Smart. They look to go out now as off hands. Park Orchards will look to repel. They've just been too clean with the footy at the moment. But that's a bit of a mistake, and it was off the hands. Couldn't be quite taken cleanly by Castle. And now it gives the Sharks a chance to go through the corridor, looking for a bounce. Footy wouldn't quite sit up. Interesting choice, giving Chad a lead up next to her. An infringing tackle laid there by
Head high.
Pollock. It was head high, so high tackle chance with the footy in hands is Zoe Macris. Has been very good, quite an experienced player for the Pioneers. She will look to go wide and has a player there all by herself who's taken the mark.
Number 13, Castle.
Had a chance to play on, did Stephanie Castle, but opted to just take a breath, look for some options. She's got a lead up short, look to find that. Kick was just slightly overcooked. It's off the hands of the defence, looking to bring it out with Park Orchards by any means necessary, and it was holding the ball, free kick. So an incorrect disposal as it's a player over on her haunches.
Number 31, Cowley.
So it's Sarah Cowley with the footy in hands. As there's another whistle here.
She's just handed off to Macris.
So Zoe Marcus with the footy. Fisher went and stood there and said, give it to me. She does so. Deep entry in a forward 50. A chance for the Pioneers to hit the scoreboard. Looking to bring it out was Remy Archer. And we'll have another ball up. So Whitehorse just changing up their entries a bit. It's not a bad idea at this moment. Is looking to wheel on to the left-booted kick around the corner. Was 14 in Laffy, but can only get a minor score. So Whitehorse on the board.
But at least now they know they can do it.
That's exactly right. So a bit of a confidence boost and on that can go forward, but also a chance as Park Orchards will bring it out of the kick-in. Chance for Whitehorse to lock it in.
Just a quick update. Number 8 for Park Orchards, Rukavina, has just come off. She's limping on her right ankle, so I'll give you update as I find out details from the trainers.
Thank you for that, Kate. I believe it was probably Rukavina who got caught in that tackle. Copped a fair bump, but play will continue. Harris in the ruck. Rucks cancel each other out. Sharks looking to bring it out and would do so with a hoofing kick down the corridor. Around it was Phoebe Joy. Couldn't quite take it. Almost got the ball pinned to her in a tackle though. So the umpire will call for a ball up. It was well done from the Sharks.
Joy's having a good game. She's been really strong in defence.
She is having a lot of the footy, bringing it out of the kick-ins. So Whitehorse, again, dominating territory, getting the game on their terms a bit. They need to impact the scoreboard here as Macris goes forward. The kick will drop short. Perhaps an in the back free kick, but no, umpire says nothing doing, so we'll have a ball up just outside the Whitehorse forward 50. as it was tapped by Smart for the Pioneers. Looking to bring it out was Livingston. That was Georgia Livingston in defence. As the Pioneers looking to bring it out again. Bit of a scrappy footy here, looking for a don't argue, and a bit of a backpedal was a Sharks defender. Georgia Livingston again with the footy. She's almost got leather poisoning at this stage, as it will be brought out through the kick of Ava Campbell straight to her counterpart, the other number 37 in Macris, who sends it forward. Whitehorse around the footy, a chance to go forward. It was off hands, maybe shying away from the contact a bit there, as Park Orchards will look to bring it out. Can't quite do so, but will now get it off the hands of Remy Archer, who was another one of those 2024 Division 1 Team of the Year players, but now wrapped up in a tackle from behind his man McAuliffe, but didn't have Price. We'll have a ball up.
Again, Laffy, the quiet workhorse with all those tackles, particularly on Livingston in that forward pocket of Whitehorse.
So another ball up as Whitehorse now look to go backwards to go forward. Fisher gets it on the right boot. It's a good entry, but shallow inside the forward 50. A holding free kick will favour the defence. So it's just different contributors popping up for Park Orchards. It was Dakota Hohen in the first quarter. He's been a bit quieter this quarter though, but Park Orchards has still held up well through the lights of Georgia Livingston and others in that back line. But that kick is intercepted by Gemma Laffey, who's been terrific so far, as we've mentioned her plenty of times throughout this broadcast. In the Deakin University women's match of the round, as the ball goes forward, spare out the back was Campbell, but it went through her hands. Picked up by Harris, who might be able to get a shot on goal. It's just going to drop. Holland was around it, couldn't quite get there, and it's rushed for a behind. So Whitehorse with another minus score on the board, as the Sharks will look to bring it back in shortly.
Even just with the two minors that Whitehorse have gotten, I've noticed a step up in that confidence again, even though they're just two behinds. They know they can get there. They know they can get around Park Orchards' defence, so it's all good.
They're a bit more willing to take the game on. It's now 2v1. A lot of work to be done by the Pioneers defender, and did well to just take the contact and earn herself a high free kick. So Whitehorse have been on the front foot as we're nearly 5 minutes to go in this second quarter, but scoreboard still reads Park Orchards 2-6-18, Whitehorse 0-2-2. So a 16-point game, not out of reach by any means, but with an understaffed side today, the Pioneers will be looking to get a major on the board and keep Park Orchards honest, as it was a well-taken mark by Alexandra Carroll. And the kick would just about stay in bounds. It bounced well to do so as well. And we'll have a ball up just in the forward pocket in Whitehorse's forward 50. So again, a lot of territory going to the right of screen. It was Park Orchards in this first quarter. It's Whitehorse in this second quarter. But bringing it out was number 19 in Remy Archer. Kick found Jade Hutchinson, who looks to go forward, and it's off hands. Bertoldi maybe bit off a bit more than she could chew, but got the footy out, so it was a legal disposal off hands and intercepted well there by O'Neill. Now looking to repel again was Hutchinson, who's been everywhere for the Sharks so far. But her kick will only find the waiting arms of Phoebe Joy, who takes intercept mark.
Joy's been brilliant down back. She's just really held off so much of the forward momentum of Park Orchards.
So Joy's kick will find Darcy Hudson, who goes forward again, looking for Fisher. Was well spoiled out the back. Strong defensive work by Amelia Reese. And going forward now, kicking around the corner on the left was Jemmy Laff. If the ball comes to ground, Whitehorse might have a chance here, although they're outnumbered in that 50-metre arc. And it will be wrapped up for another ball up.
Just a quick update on number 18, Rukavina for Park Orchards. She remains under trainer assessment, but is hopeful to return to the game.
Thank you for that, Kate. It was Jemmy Laffey on the left boot again. Just getting it forward on that trusty left foot around the corner by any means necessary. So we'll have... The ball's made its way out on that far side, just on the edge of Whitehorse's 50, and as per the last touch rule in our women's competitions, it will be the Pioneers to bring it back in. But intercept mark taken by Remy Archer. You would have thought the kick was directed for her. He plays on, but just puts it straight in the arms of Phoebe Joy again. Massive contributor here so far for Whitehorse, one of the shining lights. As
now to Cowley.
they look to go forward again. through Sarah Cowley, goes forward. It's a good entry. It was in the hands of number 19 in Imogen Bevan, the 16-year-old, but couldn't quite take it cleanly, and it will be last touch. We'll see Park Orchards bring this ball back in the form of Sienna Bett. He's been put behind the foot. He normally plays her games forward of the ball, but he's doing some defensive work for now. Is playing on and bringing it out of defence is Park Orchards. It was smothered on the mark. Footy to be won at ground level through the legs of a couple Sharks players. It's out the back. Here's Mia McAuliffe, who looks to go in the corridor. Finds the waiting arms of number 33 in Amelia Reese, who's a teammate, and goes forward once again, looking for another teammate. Combining with Isabel Pollock, and now they've got a bit of run through the middle of the Sharks, almost running to each other. Tackled as she keeper, got it off. It's a 1v1 here. Who wants it more? It's on the right boot. And it is through for a goal. Chloe Livingston gets a major. And it is Park Orchards' third of the day and their second of the quarter. So despite not having any of the territory dominance, Park Orchards hitting back on the scoreboard and making this a more lucrative quarter than the first quarter was, Kate.
That will hurt Whitehorse.
That hurts a lot. Whitehorse with all the territory dominance. You'd almost think Domini Reserve was on a hill, the amount of time the footy spent to the right of the screen.
That's fairly even, just with a slight hump in the middle, and the ground's actually really good. And
that's exactly right. It's pristine conditions out here, but the footy's just been locked to the right of screen, and that's favoured Whitehorse this quarter, but they've only been managed to put 2 behinds on the ball, and that means that Park Orchards are at +5 for this quarter somehow. So the Sharks making it work as they go quickly, that run and gun technique that we heard from Dave Bowl in the pre-game and in the quarter-time interviews. They know what footy they want to play, and they want to play it quickly. There's a ball up just on the forward 50 arc here as we're into the last 40 seconds of this opening half of our Deakin University match of the round, as it will be brought out through Jade Hutchinson. The ball is kicked forward. Whitehorse looking to repel. They need to make sure they don't cough up a score, but the shot is on goal from the Sharks. Under it is Livingston. Couldn't quite get to the footy, so it's gone for behind.
I think Park Orchard's running game and just the way they attack are going to cause a few teams that they're yet to play a few headaches, because they are highly effective in this running game that they have.
So the kick out of defence and the kick in is just kept in, as there is the siren to finish this second term and this first half. As a result, scoreboard reads Park Orchards 3-7-25. The Sharks opening up a 23-point lead over Whitehorse, who only contributed the 2 behinds in that quarter. So a 23-point margin. Our goal kickers for this game so far in our Deakin University match of the round are 2 to Ellie Harnett, who's had quite a few shots on goal, and I believe has 2 behinds to that as well. And the 1 to Chloe Livingston. Major contributors for both sides so far. Georgia Livingston in there for Park Orchards alongside Chloe Livingston as well. Jade Hutchinson, the likes of Ava Campbell too, doing terrifically throughout that first half. And for Whitehorse, big contributors from Phoebe Joy and Georgia Fisher, as well as Gemma Laffey, who's been brilliant as we go around the grounds in Premier Division for our women's competition. South Croydon 19, Eastern Devils 1. So South Croydon able to open up an 18-point lead there as they look to bounce back after a loss last week. Still no score listed for the Basin as they host South Belgrave. Down at Vermont Recreation Reserve, we have the Eagles 23 play Baronia 38, so 15-point lead for the Hawks there.
That's a surprise.
That is a surprise, and maybe one that will sway the tipping competition a bit. As for Division 1, we still don't have any scores listed as we have 3 games going on today. As we go to Deakin Uni Division 2, obviously Waverley Blues falling short to Montrose in an early start by 20 points. Elsewhere, Berwick 117, Moorabah taking names and digging graves in Division 2 so far. They have 14-86, so a 79-point lead
already
there.
By the end of second quarter?
By half time, and it is very rarely in any game that you will see a side kick 14 goals to.
Who they were against? I've gone blank on
Berwick.
that. Oh, my God.
But Moorabah at the moment, especially with the Waverley Blues loss, look like, although we're only about a month into the season, look like they are nailed on for premiership contenders, out dominating at Berwick Edwin Flack Oval. There's the Burners are hosting Beaconsfield. They've opened up a 27-point lead, 6-5-41, plays 2-2-14. Kilsyth, the women's side in Division 2 with a bye.
So Mirrabah have basically started the season like they finished last season with winning the premiership. They've just seemed to have come on from a roll from that and kept it going. That's impressive.
That's exactly
right. That's really
right.
impressive.
So exciting times at Moorabah's Division 3 we go to now. South Croydon with a win 48-17 over North Ringwood earlier. Other than that, Churnside hosts Heathmont. We don't have a score listed there at Kimberley Reserve. Coldstream hosting Ferntree Gully. It's 5-6-36, plays 4-1-25. So Coldstream up 11 points. Mitcham are hosting the Eastern Devils in Division 3, but we don't have a score listed for that just yet. As Division 4, Warren Dyke women's team has the bye. Elsewhere, 8:50 start at Batterham Reserve between the Basin and Baroni. So that game's finished, but we don't have scores listed for any of the Division 4 results. Unfortunately, as we cross to our new Division 5 for the first time this year, we have a Division 5 in the women's competition. Templestowe hosting Heathmont. We don't have a score just yet. Upper Ferntree Gully 1-1-7 plays Norwood 2-12. So Norwood with a 5-point lead in a low-scoring encounter.
That will be
obviously Vermont's development side with a bye.
The Norwood. What is it, Upper Ferntree Gully? No, Ferntree Gully. That will be an interesting game because I see those two as very hard to pick between when they play each other.
That's exactly right. So halftime here at Domini Reserve in the Pat Cronin Foundation round, raising awareness to end the coward punch and to be wise in our Deakin University women's match of the round. Park Orchards 3-7-25 with a 23-point lead over Whitehorse 0-2-2 as we're going to go to a break, and we will see you again when the second half starts.
Did you? Hoi! Did she pitch the ball? Pitch the ball? This way. Come on. Not worth it. Okay, down here. Good job. Jump. Good job.
Chris? Hey Chris, I'm just here with Paul Beavenon, coach of Whitehorse. That was a really positive quarter, particularly in the fact that getting it down into your own forward 50 and the pressure that the girls applied.
Yeah, we were able to control the footy a little bit around the contest and just get those repeat stoppages and then set up better behind the footy, which then gave us the opportunity for having those opportunities to have a crack at goal. We just, unfortunately, just didn't get the reward for effort.
I noticed that on your board you have offense-defense chain. That you could actually see that occurring in that second quarter. So all kudos to the girls and you. What's the message for the girls moving forward for this quarter?
Just to keep working hard around the contest and just try to control the footy. If we control the footy, we can stop their run.
Thanks very much, Paul, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Kate Green. On the boundaries, we welcome you back for the second half of the Deakin University women's match of the round down here at Domini Reserve between Park Orchards and Whitehorse.
On a side note, number 18 for Park Orchards, Riverlink, she's back on the field.
So Ruka Vina back on the field,
Yes, she
and
is.
while we were getting that update, it was Alana Bowl, who in her 100th game in the EFNL has just kicked a major to go with. So a well-deserved moment for Alana Bowl there. As the scoreboard now reads, Park Orchards 4-7-31, leading Whitehorse 0-3, 3 behinds. So the Sharks are able to keep their opponents goalless in round 1 against the base and might be able to do so again here. As there's a kicking danger call going the way of Park Orchards, I believe.
Boundary just here with Dave. Dave, very positive 2 quarters so far, and the third has just quickly started really well. Enjoying seeing your running game. What's the message for the girls moving forward?
Look, we can get better still. I think we're still fumbling. And some of our switching, we're just going to a person that's standing still. So we need to be on the move. So we really should hopefully see this quarter a lot more run.
Well, we've just seen that in the first few minutes. All the best to you and the girls.
Great, thanks very much.
So very high standards being set from Dave Bowl as his Park Orchard side are in the driver's seat. As Whitehorse look to bring it out now on this far side wing. It's going to bounce in favour of Maddie Edwards, who gets it on the right boot, looking golds. It would drop to the edge of the goal square in the hands of Phoebe Joy now, who clears the kick on the far side. And due to the last touch rule, that'll be Park Orchards to restart play just in their forward pocket, maybe 35 metres out.
I'm really feeling for Whitehorse at the moment because that lack of bench is really hurting them at the moment. As for Park Orchards, as Dave said, there's been still a few fumbles and they're not fully in their running game. But all positives moving forward for Park Orchards, and hopefully Whitehorse can get a major on the scoreboard, because I think that will definitely give them a massive boost in their confidence. But it needs to happen this quarter, or otherwise, I'm not quite sure what will occur with their confidence moving forward. But pressure-wise, they've been brilliant. Whitehorse, really, really brilliant. That quarter second, they had 18 tackles, so they're keeping up their tackle rate.
It was Georgia Livingston wrapped up in the tackle there, and Pioneers will look to bring it out on the far side as they switch it, looking for Imogen Harris, who's got the footy and is wrapped up in the tackle. Still going, but the umpire will call for it before she can get it free. So they need a goal, and they need a goal soon, do Whitehorse. So you're seeing this scoring end at Domini Reserve that they're now on the wrong side of. But they'll keep going as Chloe Livingston's around the footy. Good body work around it, I believe, was a Macris. Now there's Darcy Hudson around at Park Orchards looking to bring it out off the foot of Maddie Edwards. Not 15 was the call. Remy Archer just sends one forward. It was well taken there. Hartner, who spoiled from Smart, but her kick was smothered itself, and pressure is awarded as Hartner takes her opponent high. So it's Imogen Bevan who looks forward now, and around is Bertoldi. Couldn't quite take it cleanly. Hudson was there too. 2v1 now favouring Park Orchards. That's good body work there from Dodds. Now in the hands though, turned over to Taylor, and they're chaining up through Bertoldi. Looking for a lead-up target. It's going to get out the back of both the players there. The target was Georgia Livingston. He's applying pressure now, puts head over the footy. Footy dropped loose. Pioneers looking to bring it back out now through the corridor. Sitting under it was Chloe Livingston and takes intercept mark. So a chance for the Sharks to just slow it down a bit, but they'll look to go. It's out the back. It was off the hands of Phoebe Joy doing the crumbing out the back though, and sweeping up was Morgan Benson, who's done well. That looked like a bit of a throw from here, but the umpires say nothing doing as Joy gets it on the right boot. And the ball stayed in place somehow. It looked like the players even thought it was out. And the shot at goal will go out on the full. So no score there. As we will wait for Whitehorse to bring the ball back into play.
Unfortunately, it's out with a touch, so I'm thinking a ball up.
So we'll have a ball up just outside the forward 50 arc here. A Park Orchards forward 50 arc, that is. Beginning
to see, understandably, some fatigue in the Whitehorse players, but it's not affecting their pressure at the moment with their tackle count and that. So it'll be an interesting thing to watch.
So an understaffed Whitehorse side that's been here today who, looking at their bench, only have about 2 rotations available. So you look over the Sharks bench and they've got, I think, 5 over there, maybe 6. So got their work cut out for them, Whitehorse, but on the other side of that, Park Orchards just need to keep chugging along as Chloe Livingston couldn't quite get the clean handball off, and now the Pioneers are going to bring it out, looking to use the corridor, and it's a well-contested mark from Remy Archer there. Stood up terrifically as she just looks to send her forward, take territory with the kick. Underneath it, challenging was Alana Bowl, but now it's in the hands of Georgia Livingston, who gets it forward, puts it in front of Ellie Hardner, but no one able to get a touch on it. So it will be Whitehorse to bring the ball back in play. And it will be Phoebe Joy, who's been one of their key contributors so far. So Joy will look to the far side, kick drop short of the target. It was Imogen Bevan.
The wind is definitely having an impact because it's actually blowing towards that forward pocket that's to the left of the goals, just enough to carry the ball out.
So an intercept mark there taken by Ava Campbell, who's on Collingwood's VFLW list, and you can see why, as her kick is going to drop out the back. Hartnett looking to keep it alive and not let it get rushed from behind, but Phoebe Joy will throw her over the goal line. So we'll have another rush behind on the board for Park Orchards.
Phoebe Joy's been brilliant in that back line.
Definitely has, putting her name up for votes. As she'll look to bring it out now. Kick was to a 1v1 contest. Pioneers played it terrifically to bring it to ground and get the kick out. Now looking for a teammate, but it will only go as far as the Park Orchards player in Campbell again, who sends it forward. Long kick, deep entry. It's going to come backwards off the pack. Hands everywhere. Kicked off the ground a few times there by 31 in Sarah Cowley, and now kick inside will find the waiting arms of Phoebe Joy, who's on the footy once more. Do we have a Best On Ground award to give out after this, Kate?
Yes, we do.
Phoebe Joy definitely throwing her hat into the ring to
Well, she's been a predominant name that you've been calling and that we've been marking down as they're saving Whitehorse from being, undone with an even bigger score against them by Park Orchards.
That's exactly right, but not making it easy. There's quite a few Park Orchards players at the moment, and one of them is Georgia Livingston, who has the footy there, gets it off hands to Alana Bowl, who now gets it looking for the check side. Was Penny Bowman. Couldn't quite get it. Now goes and picks up her own kick, looking to bring it out. Ball dropped, and that's going to be holding the ball. So like I said, Georgia Livingston's been massive for Park Orchards. So too is Jade Hutchinson. So too is Ava Campbell. So there's been a lot of key contributors on this field.
It's going to be tough. Really
Doesn't
tough.
make our job easy at all.
Maybe we should get umpire input, see what they think. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
It might be worth doing, as Macris is going to be wrapped up in a tackle in her defensive pocket. So in the forward 50 of Park Orchards now. Once again, as a ball is going to be thrown up. Livingston was taken high. That was Georgia Livingston, who's now going to have a chance to enter forward 50. She's about 55, 60 metres out. And we'll wheel onto the left and send it forward. Kick got good distance, but was just hooked to the near side. So another behind for Park Orchards, who have won every quarter so far and are winning this one 8 points to 1. The scoreboard reads for Park Orchards 49-33, now with a 5-goal lead over Whitehorse 0-3-3 as we are over halfway.
And Joy kicking out again.
Yeah, as we are over halfway into this third term, as the intercept mark's taken by Ava Campbell. It's probably my vote for player of the game so far, as she finds the lead up of Penny Bowman.
I have to say, Whitehorse's defence and the pressure they've been under, I'd love to pick all Whitehorse defence just for the fact that they're not giving up. Their intensity has only slightly dropped, but it's still up there with their tackles and their tackle count.
So it's Bowman on a bit of a tight angle. The kick's on its way from 15 out and has found its way through. So Penny Bowman with a goal there has done terrifically. It was probably in about a 60-degree angle.
No, it was behind.
It was a behind. Righto, so that will go down as a minor score. My apologies. Ball just drifting wide.
Again, it's that wind that's
post.
playing a big factor on the goals from this end.
As Bowl has the ball in hand again. Already has one today. Gives it off to Hartnett. His kick was smothered. Now he's smart. Looking to get it out through Macris. He throws it on the right boot. Sends it forward. It's dropped into the hands of 18, Alexandra Carroll, who just sends it forward with a hoofing kick. Spare behind the footy, though, is number 17 in Jade Hutchinson, who's going to look to go forward and play on and get past the defender, and does just that. Isabel Pollock under the footy, couldn't quite take the mark cleanly now, looking to put the afterburners on and go. Gets it to the forward target and finds a teammate. I can't quite see who that is at the moment, but Park Orchards.
Is Hartnett? Is that Hartnett?
I see Hartnett in the goal square. So it's number 5 in Alana Bowl, who kicked one in what is her 100th game today already. And will now have a chance on a slight angle from about 40 metres out.
And the wind's just picked up.
She jogs in and the kick will be pushed wide again.
That wind is playing havoc with this goal end.
That's exactly right. So uncharacteristically inaccurate kicking here from this Park Orchard side.
But I think it's also got to do with the fact that Whitehorse's pressure has kept them.
As that one will go through. Sorry to cut you off, Kate, from Georgia Livingston, who wheeled onto the left foot.
Caller's curse.
Kicked it
proved me wrong.
Kicked it around the corner, and that one was straight and true as soon as it left the boot. So Georgia Livingston gets Park Orchard's second of the term. And their 5th of today. The scoreboard reads Park Orchard's 5-11-41 with a 38-point lead now over Whitehorse 0-3-3.
Okay, my 3 so far that is standing out, 2 for Park Orchards, as in Livingston and Hartnett, and actually and Campbell will make that 3, and Joy definitely for Whitehorse Pioneers, and at one stage I also had Laffy as in Gemma.
There's a few good pickups there, as There's a holding free kick going the way of Park Orchards at the moment. I think with that goal, I think Georgia Livingston's put herself at the top for me. But also a couple other names to be considered, like you said, Ava Campbell, Phoebe Joy for Whitehorse. So there's a nicely taken contested mark there from Rosie Dodds, who looks to find a teammate and does so in Darcy Hudson on the far side wing. Whitehorse with a chance, still looking for their first major of the day as the target is Laffy, who's got a lot of work to do, 2v1. Pressured by number 22 in Sienna Bed, and the kick will drop short. It was off hands. Now looking to burst through is Georgia Livingston again, who looks out to the 1v1, almost a 1v1v1 if you count the runner that nearly got caught under the footy. As Morgan Benson's kick is going to go into the corridor, 3 Sharks fly, almost spoiled each other. Off the boot of McAuliffe, couldn't quite get it cleanly. Here's Fisher on the footy, won't quite sit up for her, steps inside onto the right boot, gets good contact in it. It's off the shins of Dakota Holman, who's doing good body work to shepherd the ball. Looking to give her teammate a cleaner run at it, and does so and gets the handball out, but it's intercepted by Macris, who's also been very good for the Pioneers. The Sharks with a few spare behind the footy though. And the ball will drop to Ella Krupi.
Just the Sharks' awareness of where their player is coming from behind to run up the side, and like in that play, that's really good footy.
So it was Krupi's kick that went wide. In defence for today, normally listed as a forward, as the Pioneers will look to bring it back in. And diving for a mark was Imogen Bevan, who couldn't quite take it though. It was almost an inch short.
She's winded, it looks like.
So we hope she's okay. It looks like she's just winded, which is signs that she'll be all right.
No, number 18 is Carol. Bevan is 19.
All right, so Alexander Carroll was the one winded there as play continues. And there's a pushing free kick going the way of Whitehorse. So still in a tight angle, but a chance for Gemma Laffy, who I believe is a left footer. So she has a chance from about 25 metres out here.
That wind is just slightly dropped in intensity. So hopefully, yes.
So the kick is on its way and it is through for Gemma Laffy. So Whitehorse finally break the deadlock and get their first major of the day. It's well-deserved from Gemma Laffy, who was doing a lot of the work getting the ball inside forward 50 throughout the first half, and he's on the receiving end this time, and from about 25 metres out, on a pretty tough angle, has to be said, kicks well.
Yeah, I'm really pleased that, reward for effort there, because she has really worked these, 2.5 quarters. So how much time have we got left? 3.5 minutes left?
Just about.
It's gone quick.
As the tap will favour Park Orchards, and there's Georgia Livingston again looking forward. Couldn't quite get it. The ball bounced off shins from Hartnett and popped up perfectly to Kruppy, whose kick couldn't quite find a teammate. So we brought back in by Phoebe Joy, who looks to the far side wing. Well taken intercept mark there from, I believe, Claire Bone, who wheels around to the left foot, beats her player, kicks at goal. But couldn't quite bring it across enough. That was Isabel Pollock, as a matter of fact. So
yep, I think we're getting blurry.
So Park Orchards with their 5th behind of the term, going with 2 goals in this third quarter. So they're still scoring well. As the kick in from Whitehorse is going to drop to a pack, and it's going to come out the near side wing. It was off hands. It was tight, so we'll have a ball in to bring it back in.
Near collision between 2 Whitehorse players, getting to that.
As the ball up will go in this wing here just in front of us, as around the footies Livingston applying pressure. Macris got the handball off to Laffy, who looks forward now, standing under it with Panzer, who takes a good mark. Now looks to go quickly, looking for a centering ball. Joy was under it. It's got to drop out the back of the pack. It's Pollock with the footy again, wheeling around, showing great speed. Here's Pollock again on the left boot from about 20 out. And he's going to make no mistakes from there. Isabel Pollock showing that she's got speed to burn, and gets Park Orchards 3rd of the term and 6th of the day. So the scoreboard reads Park Orchards 6-12-48, Whitehorse 1-3-9, as the Sharks now with a commanding 39-point lead.
Unfortunately, I think the very limited bench that Whitehorse has for interchanges is really beginning to bite now on the team, because I can see a lot of Whitehorse players that are, beginning to show fatigue, but all kudos to them for not giving up and still getting in there for second, third, fourth efforts and beyond.
As Livingston won the clearance, it's going to be wrapped up, and it's also Park Orchard's play style. They're very quick to play on and put the foot down and go, and that's a tiring game at the best of times, especially when you're down to 2 rotations. It is hard work. As here are the Sharks again, kick around the corner looking for Crappie, but it's going to be intercepted there by the Whitehorse defence. So a chance to slow the play down a bit.
I can't see the number.
And get themselves a bit of a break as they'll look to the far side wing again. Flying was a Park Orchards player, but just didn't get anywhere near it, as they'll look to repel now and have a chance to do so, as a handball is going to hit space and hit the deck. And here's Pollock again with the speed, again with the left foot. But this time a different result as it's pulled wide.
Unfortunately, the Whitehorse player's decision, number 33, do we have it? Higgins' decision to go to her right. The competition was too crowded there. Better option would have been that initial time to go to the left, her left, as she's just done now.
And they're looking to bring it out now, but can't quite do so. A few possessions in a row. Isabel Pollock has shown that she has speed to burn and is punishing this Whitehorse defence, saying, run with me if you can. So the ball's in the hands of Ellie Hartnett, who can't quite take it cleanly. As the 3/4 time siren goes, the scoreboard reads Park Orchards 6-13-49. Whitehorse 1-3-3. My apologies, that's Whitehorse 1-3-9ers. Today's starting to get to me a bit, as it's Park Orchards with
Chris,
a 40-point deficit.
You need to tag Megan in, and she'll take the last quarter on, and you go camera.
Oh, man, but no. So to correct myself there, scoreboard reads Park Orchards 6-13-49, Whitehorse 1-3-9. Goal kickers so far, it's the 2 for Park Orchards. Ellie Hartner with 2 singles for Isabel Pollock, Chloe Livingston, Georgia Livingston, and Alana Boyle. And for Whitehorse, their first goal of the day going to Gemma Laffey. So you go around the grounds quickly as we're pulling it up now. Obviously, games going on across the Deakin University women's competitions. South Croydon hosting the Eastern Devils. The score out there is 4-4-28 for South Croydon. 19-point leaders over Eastern Devils, 1-3-9. Still no score listed for the Basin as they host South Belgrave. High scoring encounter out at Vermont Recreation Reserve as Vermont is 7-6-48. Trail Baronia 10-3-63. It's a 15-point margin out there.
So Baronia's jumped back.
That's exactly right, as they're starting to mount quite the campaign themselves. As Division 1, we don't have any scores listed, as there's a few interesting games there that I'd be keen to see how they pan out. So cross over into Division 2, obviously Montrose beating Waverley earlier on in the day by 20 points. Score ballooning out at Berwick Edwin Flack Oval as Berwick 1-1-7 are getting absolutely battered by Moorabach side, who are 18-5-113. Maybe one of the most impressive score lines I've seen so far in our women's competitions, and it's only 3/4 time out there, so a long day for Berwick.
Feeling the pain for Berwick big time.
Yep, that's exactly right. And definitely feeling the joy for Moorabach as they're making light work of this new division as they earned promotion last season. The Burners at Morden Park 6-5-41. Blackburn leading Beaconsfield 2-3-15. So a 16-point lead there. Not much change in the 3rd quarter for that game. To go to Division 3, obviously South Croydon 31-point victors over North Ringwood earlier today. No score listed as Churnside Park host Heathmont. Coldstream 5-6-36 are on the wrong end of a bit of a comeback here from Ferntree Gully, as they are 6-2-38. Ferntree Gully hitting the lead there by just 2 points out at Halley Supple Oval. And Mitcham taking on the Eastern Devils. No score listed there as those teams face off. As we go over to Division 4, no scores listed for either game so far. The Basin and Baronia was finished earlier today, but we still don't have a score as Warrandyte have their bye. And crossing over into Division 5, Templestowe host Heathmont, still no score listed there. Upper Ferntree Gully take on Norwood, still a close encounter. Upper Ferntree Gully 1-1-7, Norwood 2-2-14 as Vermont's development side have their bye week.
Interesting results. Very interesting results.
That's exactly right. As a scoreboard out here at Domini Reserve in the Deakin University match of the round, Park Orchard 6-13-49 plays Whitehorse 1-3-9. Going to have a short break and we'll be back after three-quarter time when Kate will have the coaches for the interviews. And we're back once again as three-quarter time is winding to an end here in our Deakin University senior women's match of the round out here at Domini Reserve. It's Park Orchards in command. Their scoreboard reads 6-13-49. Whitehorse 1-3-9 as the Sharks have a 40-point deficit. Thank you for joining us. If you're listening to us on the Facebook and YouTube streams, of course, if you want to hear more footy from the EFNL, then it doesn't have to stop here after the games. We'll be live at home park for Beaconsfield as they host Baronia in our Division 1 competition, which is set to be a cracker of a game. That'll be live on our YouTube and Facebook streams and Eastern Radio 91 FM as we go to Kate Green on the boundary.
Just with Paul here, this has been a tough game for you guys. I've got to say that the media team is so happy for you guys getting that goal. Moving forward, we've been really impressed with the amount of pressure your team's been keeping up. We know there's not much on the bench, but still moving forward, what's the final message to the girls?
I think just try and finish the game out as strong as we can, just to run the game out, not put the cue in the rack, as they say, and give it away. Like, you know, just get some score on the board and get a little bit of reward for the effort that they have put in. Yes, it's been tough when you lose 3 players the day before. It doesn't help the situation, but it is what it is, and you just got to move forward.
And Park Orchards is notorious for their running game, which will put any opposition to the test with fitness and changes. And it does really hurt, as you mentioned, when you don't have that interchange bench. But we're still being incredibly impressed with what you girls have achieved today. So well done, and we look forward to seeing you in another game, and all the best.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for that, Kate Green. As like we said, thanks for joining us, and we will be live from home park later on today. I believe we're starting the pre-game at 1:10 on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM and our Facebook and YouTube streams. But here at Domini Reserve, we're still going as Park Orchards with a bit of territory early on, but the last kick rule will see Whitehorse bring the ball back into play. So I can see Kate drifting over to the Park Orchards dugout to grab head coach Dave Bowl.
You're wandering up to the goal. Are you going to do you want to kick a goal, do you, Dave?
No.
It's been a positive game. Yes, you've mentioned that there's a few things that the girls need to tidy up moving forward. But other than that, for the final quarter, what is the message?
The message is to, again, run the ball, like keep doing what we are doing. That third quarter, we saw a couple of beautiful switches, which resulted one in a goal and one in a shot on goal. And that's how we want to play, but more consistently. So more run, keep going, let's bounce.
Your running game's going to be something that your opposition moving forward are just going to have to be aware of, because it's been effective in tiring some teams out, particularly if they're a bit short on the interchange bench. How do you see that?
That's hopefully going to be our strength. So that's one of our goals at the start of the season, in pre-season, was to be and then be fast. So let's move it fast and let our legs really run it out last quarters. So see how we.
Thank you. All the best moving forward, Dave. Bye.
Right, thank you.
As Macris's kick smothered over the boundary line, so we'll have a ball up in the Whitehorse forward 50. It's just going to be grabbed out of the ruck by Chloe Livingston, who will send it on the boot. It went high and was brought to ground now, and wrapped up in the tackle is Georgia Livingston. Macris, the tackler there, has been very good today. So too is her opponent in Georgia Livingston, though, as Joy's around the footy. Another key contributor here on a sunny Saturday morning. So I believe we've crossed into afternoon just about 8 minutes ago, but still going here in the fourth term. Remains a 40-point lead to Park Orchards.
I think Joy has been the big standout for Whitehorse Pioneers, and just with regards to Park Orchards, I think Georgia Livingston's really beginning to make her mark fully felt. So
it was Laffy throwing the ball on the left boot and bounced close enough to the goals to have to be rushed over the line. Before that, I actually think it was Eliza O'Neill who got a free kick and lined up to kick the ball the wrong way. So it was lucky that we sorted that out. But it will be Park Orchards bringing the ball back in and looking to do so using the corridor. Under the footy was 21 in Kate Brown, but the Pioneers will look to repel here.
That was a Macca's kick, unfortunately being intercepted by Park Orchards.
It was Campbell that did the intercepting, and will look to go long. Again, looking to that far side as Holland's around the footy. Wouldn't quite sit up for her. Does well to tap it to her advantage, but now the footy spilled out. It's in the hands of O'Neill, who got wrapped in a tackle and is getting pinned for holding the ball.
I think it was improper disposal because she'd actually let go of the ball.
So Holland's kick will go into the middle and Livingston rose. I'm not sure if the mark was awarded, but it was quite a fly at that as she came down with a footy. Edwards has sent it forward now and found the waning arms of Ellie Hartnett.
That was an impressive specky from Georgia Livingston.
She went up with it, definitely got two hands to the footy. I'm not sure if there was an opponent's hand in there as well, but...
And both feet off the ground too.
Terrific fly as Ellie Hartnett will line up for her third of today. She's just told to adjust her angle. She's on a very slight angle here, kicking from about 30 metres out. As the kick is straight through the big stick, so Ellie Hartnett gets her third of the day. It's the first of the term for Park Orchards. And it moves the scoreboard out to Park Orchards 7-13, 55 plays Whitehorse 1-4-10. Bit of a percentage booster for the Sharks here on the cards as they open up a 45-point margin.
Still kudos to Whitehorse for not giving in. Again, I'm still really impressed with the amount of pressure that they're still providing and their courage and determination not to, give in.
So plays restarted here as we'll have a free kick going the way of the Pioneers. So we'll have some scores around the ground for you, not all of them, just the close ones. As still need to keep an eye on an exciting game here as it is for Park Orchards, who are really stamping themselves and making their name known in a new division as they're in their first season in the Premier Division this season. As Alana Panza, the skipper, brings the ball out, found a teammate who couldn't quite take the mark, was held well by Macris. Now looking to bring it out and step inside was Laffy, did brilliantly, got on the left foot, looking for a teammate. It was off hands and the mark was taken.
18, Carroll, Alexander Carroll.
Brilliant work from Alexandra Carroll here. We'll line up from about 20 out. Just greater than a 45-degree angle, who will look for Whitehorse's second
And
of
the breeze
this
just
fixture.
picked up.
So the breeze picking up when there are set shots at goal, apparently. As it will be Carroll who strolls in and kicks.
She did it.
Truly. So she's kicked that well. She deserved the goal for her efforts today, Alexandra Carroll. It's her third goal of the season.
These goals are definite positives for Whitehorse Pioneers. And although late in the game, it's still reward for what they've done throughout the game so far.
To go around the grounds in Premier Division, South Croydon still with just a 13-point margin, 13-point lead over Eastern Devils. Vermont still trailing by 13 to Baronia. So you have another ball up here as Joy's in the ruck, will be brought out by the Sharks as Georgia Livingston looks to go forward. The kick will reach the back of the pack. There's a Pioneer defender out there, but they're outnumbered 3v2. Around it and getting to the footy was Bowman, who's now wrapped up in a tackle. We'll have a ball up about 30 metres out from the Park Orchards goals as Whitehorse will look to bring it out. Wrapping their opponent up in a tackle was Livingston, and we'll have yet another ball up. So no real movement in location here. As the ball's up again, it's Chloe Livingston in the ruck. There's a push in the back there, and the umpire agrees. So it'll be a free kick going the way of Orna Higgins.
Again, Whitehorse's defence are working double time.
As the ball's been kicked up the wing, O'Neill might have twisted an ankle. We'll have another ball up as in Division 2, Moorabah have now pushed their lead out to 118 points. They've kicked 25, 125. As Eliza O'Neill is up, which is a good sign as Joy's in the ruck. Got boot to ball as well while she was there. Edwards was around the footy, was picked up and sent forward by Remy Archer. Teammate under the footy and takes the mark well. Standing up in the pack was number 9 in Mia McAuliffe, who's played well for the Sharks here. One of the more underrated contributors in this matchup.
She was a bit quiet second and third quarter, but she's actually stepped up a game this quarter.
So she'll kick from straight in front, about 35. Our kick will just have the distance and is somewhat confusingly dropped out the back of the pack and bounced through. So Mia McAuliffe will get a goal. Not quite sure what happened in the goal square there. It was...
Well, Whitehorse are contesting that they did touch it, but the young lady for Whitehorse is not arguing the point. So,
well, it didn't look like any of their defenders got really anywhere near it. It's kind of a 1v1 contest underneath. It went over the top of him and just bounced through. So you very rarely see that. But Mia McAuliffe on the board with a goal. The scoreboard here now reads Park Orchards 8-13, 61, Whitehorse 2-4-16. Elsewhere around the grounds in Deakin University Division 3. Coldstream have regained the lead against Ferntree Gully. They're now up 4 points as that game is 43-9. That's a very close one. We'll keep an eye on and give you updates on as the game progresses. As looking to burst through the middle of Park Orchards, they'll look for a target. Just slightly overcooked was the kick for Chloe Livingston.
Nice intercept, though.
It was a very nice intercept, Marks. They'll look to go out through the corridor now. Kick reached the back of the pack. Georgia Livingston misjudged it, and now a time to put the foot down for Eliza O'Neill, who burst through, handballed it over the top, looking for Smart. Almost ended up handballing it to herself. Archer does the good defensive work, though, and gets it out to Campbell. Campbell through the middle now. If it sits up for Hutchinson, they've got some run here now. As Campbell steps inside, gives it back to Hutchinson. A bit of play to play as they look forward now inside the forward 50. The numbers favour the Pioneers. It's wrapped up in a tackle is Chloe Livingston, who's gone forward. As we'll have a ball up 30 metres out from the Park Orchards uprights. looking to bring it out was 33 in Orna Higgins of the Whitehorse Pioneers, but was wrapped up in a tackle as Upper Ferntree Gully takes on Norwood in Division 5. That game is now 15-16. Norwood lead 1 point away from home.
Nice mark by Whitehorse.
There's a mark
their 50.
taken, so looking to bring the ball out. There's just over 8 minutes to go in this matchup. As the kick is sent down the line, it was off the hands of Jade Hutchinson, couldn't quite take it cleanly. Panda does well to get it back to the waiting arms of Ava Campbell, who sends it forward now 2v1 in the favour of Whitehorse. Tapped backwards by Dodds, now looking to repel, wrapped up in a good tackle by Chloe Livingston. And that's holding the ball. So Chloe Livingston's been adding a lot of pressure and laying a lot of tackles in that forward 50.
Between her and Georgia, they've really been outstanding so far this game.
So I feel like we've just been saying Livingston, Livingston, Livingston on this stream.
Very much so.
But it's now Chloe who'll have a kick from about a 45-degree angle. Be kicking from about 35 out. So it'd be a good effort as she trots in.
This will be a second if she does.
Kicks on its way. It looks good. Does it have the distance? Not quite. It will drop. And this time it is socket off the ground from Georgia Livingston, but the call is kicking in danger. So a bit of a bailout for Whitehorse, as they'll now have a chance to bring the ball back in. So the Pioneers have a chance to bring the ball out now as it's smothered off the kick from Bowl in her 100th game. Was probably taken high. The umpire agrees. She'll have a chance to kick her second.
It's great to see for both teams that they're still retaining their one-on-one with their opposition numbers. That's pretty impressive because we usually don't see that by a fourth quarter.
As now it's Macris on the mark. Bowl will be kicking from a tough angle, 20 metres out. It's on its way. Will go across the face. Georgia Livingston's under it, but it just went over the top of her outstretched arms. So it is a behind for Park Orchards as they move it out to what is now a 46-point lead. So they'll look to bring the ball out now on this near side wing as Hutchinson was under the footy, so too was O'Neill. Been wrapped up in a tackle. The footy spilled out now.
The 14 behinds that Park Orchards has is testament to Whitehorse's backline pressure and not giving in and outs. I don't know whether Park Orchards will be too happy with the 14 behinds, but a win is a win.
It's definitely right. And it was a chance really to be a scoreline reminiscent of round one when they faced the Basin, because in that matchup they tallied 26 scoring shots. They've had 22 here today. Of course, they scored 101 in that round one win, only 62 today, but still a very impressive performance. They've been all over him as Hudson gets the boot to ball, and it's now holding in a 1v1 contest. It was great work from Laffy to get the body work and get the kick off, or the punch off, I should say, but has maybe copped a bit of a dead arm in that.
But there's no one for Whitehorse back in their forward line, so that's very disappointing.
Stepping inside, I believe, was Ava Campbell, who took a bounce and got it on the right boot, looking forward through the corridor as the mark's taken and immediately playing on to the Sharks. As is the directive from Dave Bowl that we heard all throughout this game and even in the pre-game as McCallis around the footy. Now it's going to drop short, 2v1 in the favour of Park Orchards on their home turf. McCallis still with it, gets a shepherd from a teammate, looks to put it on the left and does so. 1v1 contest now for Chloe Livingston. Bounce won't quite favour her, steps inside of Jenna Fisher, and it will be Livingston to kick another. And it's Chloe Livingston with her second of the day. Great work there from the Sharks and great work from Chloe Livingston, who just won her individual duel and was able to burst through. As the Sharks now out to a 62-point lead as the scoreboard reads 9-14-68 to Whitehorse's 2-4-16.
Chris, I think it's becoming clear who clearer with the decision with best on ground is.
That's exactly right, as we'll have to make that decision
Very
later
soon.
on. As around the ground, South Croydon, their lead's been cut down to 7 against the Eastern Devils, so the Devils may be looking to cause a bit of a late upset. As Baronia have kicked out to a 16-point lead as they play away to Vermont as the ball's out the back here at Domini Reserve, and Abel Campbell's around it, so too is Laffy. It was brought out through the hands of Matilda Ray. Sharks looking to combine with handballs that have served them so well in this match so far, and there's going to be a ball up, well tackled by Jenna Fisher just on the arc of Whitehorse's forward 50. As the rucks will go out, Fisher will get it now. A chance for a shot on goal. Kick has the distance, but is sprayed right and hit the behind post. That'll be no score, out of bounds on the full. In Division 2, much of the muchness there, still no real change. Moorbuck still out massively. Blackburn still holding a 26-point lead over Beaconsfield. So the kick out is going to drop to Gemma Laffey, who's been massive for the Pioneers today, but is pinned for holding the ball there.
Her, O'Neill, Fisher, Harris, they've all been brilliant.
As Campbell's around the footy in the middle, it was gone forward now, and the handball was just overcooked. Looking for Fisher, that had a chance. It was off the hands of Ellie Bonnet. But now the ball bounce away from Whitehorse's Stephanie Castle as Park Orchards will look to get away. They're great pace going forward. And it's out the back now. Having a chance to go forward is Jasmine Taylor, but had to go backwards. Well tackled there. The tackle was laid on the Amelia Reese. Plenty of bodies around the footy. I believe one of them was Bonnet. As a matter of fact, it was Claire Bone who's been doing her work on the wing. So umpire will call for another ball up. Coldstream kicking away now from Ferntree Gully in Division 3. They're up 15 points as the scoreboard reads 54-39 over there. As ball sent forward by Remy Archer. It was off the hands of a teammate who couldn't quite take it cleanly, and Ella Cruppy. We wrapped up in the centre square. So just under 2 minutes to go here in our Deakin University match of the round for our women's competition. As the tap down is won by Hannah Smart, but it's only as far as number 18 in Caitlin Rukavina. As they're going forward now, Chestmark couldn't quite be taken on the intercept by Hutchinson, but they're linking up through hands now with the Sharks. It's a well tackled, and that's holding the ball. So great perseverance by Darcy Hudson to chase down. In Division 5, it's Norwood still just holding as narrow as a lead as you can get. 1 point over Upper Ferntree Gully as 2-3-15 plays 2-4-16. As Fisher's hit as she kicks it. Holland has her work cut out for a 2v1. Does well to bring the ball to the ground. Still has work to do as Whitehorse looking to get another on the board. And the ball is going to be brought there for a ball up. 30 metres out as Dakota Holland outnumbered there, but did brilliantly to bring the ball to ground and make a contest out of it as the Rucks will go at it again. Looking to bring it out was Hutchinson, who was wrapped up in the tackle. We've got 40 seconds left here at Domini Reserve. In what, unfortunately, no much of a round as a contest was over long ago. As Park Orchards is still up 62 as McCullough flays a tackle.
But all kudos to Whitehorse because, seriously, their pressure and particularly in their tackles and efforts has been outstanding against a team that is notorious for their running game and their pressure. That's
a rush behind for Whitehorses. Thank you for joining us here on our Facebook and YouTube streams. Of course, we will be live from Home Park as we go to our men's match of the round, brought to you by Eastland there, starting at 1:10 for the pre-game. First bounce is at 2:20 as Beaconsfield take on Baronia. That's on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM as well. As the full-time siren goes here at Domini Reserve, it is Park Orchards 9-14-68, defeating Whitehorse 2-5-17. 51-point victors on the day of the Sharks, and it could have been much, much more if we're being honest. But goal kickers for the day for Park Orchards, it's 3 to Ellie Hartnett, 2 to Chloe Livingston, and singles to Isabel Pollock, Mia McAuliffe, Alana Boel in her 100th game, and Georgia Livingston. For Whitehorse, single goal kickers, just 2 of them, Alexandra Carroll and Gemma Laffey.
Chris, now we've got the tough thing of making the decision before everyone disappears off the ground of the best on ground for the game.
Give us your top 3, Kay. We'll do 3, 2, 1 votes and we'll tally them up that way. I think that'll be the best way to do it.
Okay, Campbell, Livingston, and Joy.
Do we have 3-2-1 for them? Who do you back most?
Campbell 3,
Yep.
Livingston, Georgia 2, and Joy 1.
And Joy 1, very good. I'm probably very similar. I'm going to go Ava Campbell 3. I'm going to go Georgia Livingston 2. And yeah, I'll probably go Phoebe Joy 1. So we're in agreement there. So that makes our player of the match, Ava Campbell, number 37, Kate. If you can find her and grab her. As Kate Green's been on the boundary doing a terrific job down there. It was Megan Green on the camera today, part of LKLM Media, the best in the business, of course, bringing you all of our sports coverage for our Eastern Football Netball League match of the
Number
rounds.
37, Campbell.
As Kate's found our player of the match there to give the award to, as going around the grounds.
Do I talk on there?
We'll have results for you soon. So we've got, I believe, Ava Campbell on the microphone. Can you hear us down there, Ava?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Congratulations on a massive win, and not just that, a massive performance for yourself. How good does that feel?
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, the girls put in a really good effort today. We were kind of a bit slow in the first quarter and a bit, but Dave gave us a spray in the halftime break, and we came back and started converting our shots on goals into actual goals, so that was really good.
And just quickly, Ava, obviously first season in the Premier Division, in the new division. You had a big win round 1, not quite your week last week. How good does it feel to get back on the winners list and really cement yourselves in this new division?
Yeah, it was really good. I'm new to the club this year, and the camaraderie around the girls has been really good. They're really up for the fight this year in Premier Division. I know they had a successful year last year, and our 3 counts this year have been really solid in cementing a good finals campaign. So no, I think it's been really good for them.
That's excellent. Well, I could see the girls walking off into the locker room. We don't want to hold you for too long. Congratulations, terrific performance from yourself, and go and enjoy the win.
Thank you so much, really appreciate it.
Thank you. So we just heard from Ava Campbell there, our player of the match here in our Deakin University match of the round. As going around the grounds in Premier Division, it's South Croydon still with an 8-point lead over the Eastern Devils. It looks like that one's wrapped up. So too Vermont Recreation Reserve, as Vermont are trailing Baronia by 14 points. Still no score listed for the Basin versus South Belgrave. In Division 1, we don't have scores listed, unfortunately, but in round 3, it was obviously Montrose 20-point winners in the early start. Berwick 3-1-19, copping an absolute thumping from Moorebuck, 22-6, 138. New kids on the blocks, running rampant in Division 2. Blackburn Black, 6-5-41, leading Beaconsfield 2-3-15. That score's been like that for a while. Obviously, Kilsyth with the bye. In Division 3, we have South Croydon 31-point victors in the early start there. Churnside hosting Heathmont, no score listed. Coldstream look like they've done enough to get over Ferntree Gully in the end. 7-12-54, plays 7-3-45. Mitcham taking on Eastern Devils, still no result listed in that one. Crossing over to Div 4, we don't have results unfortunately, but it's Warrandyte in the bye week. And going to Div 5, no result listed as Templestowe host Heathmont. And it was Norwood able to get the job done in the end. Playing away, it was 2-3-15 Upper Ferntree Gully, played 2-6-18 Norwood, as Vermont Senior Women Gold had the bye round. That is all from us here at Domini Reserve in our Deakin University match of the round. Thank you, Kate.
Chris.
Terrific job on the boundary, chiming in as well.
Yeah, doing it undermanned, underwoman. But no, great call on your behalf, Chris.
Yeah, so thank you to Kate on the boundary, chiming in as well, helping me out. Thank you to Megan on the camera, to LKLM Media. That is all we have here. Thank you for tuning in on our Facebook and YouTube streams. In a matter of 40 minutes, we will be back on Facebook and YouTube at Home Park at 1:10, starting our pre-game for our Eastland men's match of the round, our Division 1 clash between Beaconsfield and Baronia. That'll be on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM. For now, this is us signing off. Thank you very much and have a good rest of your weekend.
Wow.